Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Whoa, we're live. But can I sneeze first?
Yes.
If you must.
Good evening to our audience. Welcome to our show. And we took this time to make sure that all of our information regarding in and around town and beyond, all the information is captured so that we can kind of convey it and give it to you all. So our co-host, Sister April Garner. Where are my glasses?
That's a good question.
All right.
I keep a pair in almost every room of the house, and
It's okay. It's all right.
yeah.
And
I just grab the first one I can find.
our other co-host, can't forget about my brother Marcus McCullough. How you doing, Brother Marcus?
Great. Happy to be back again. Another great week.
Oh yeah, we're happy to have you, man. So excuse me, but we are again. These are some of those momentous times where we want to. We just want to be sure that we can convey to you all the information that's going around. Usually we would have a guest every time, but sometimes we put that off. We want to make room for things that you just don't hear too often. But April and Brother Marcus, I think Brother Marcus is going to give us a good showdown today of of what's happening in and around town and beyond, for that matter. And April, so how do you want to kick it off? You kick it off with Brother Marcus or what?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Well, I'm more than excited to come and bring more news, give everybody the updates on what's going on around town. A lot's happened in the past couple days, not even full week in Conway and Horry County. So let's just dive right into it. We always like to start out with the congratulations. First thing we want to do is the common congratulations. The first person we want to recognize is Miss Angela Calhoun, who was a teacher at Conway High School, who retired at the end of this school year after 34 years of teaching at Conway High School. 34 years. She went on to college, graduated, came back, and taught 34 years at her alma mater high school. She was an AP exam grader, a social studies teacher, an average college prep course teacher, senior week and graduation coordinator. And she's finally decided that at this time it's time for her to go home and enjoy the rest of her time here. But she really did leave a big mark on Conway High School. I mean, you can imagine after 34 years of teaching, that's a long time to teach everybody else's kids. And so, I mean, we want to commend her for that and her decades of service to our area. We'd also like to congratulate once again the Conway High School graduating class. They had over 340 graduates, over $10 million in scholarships, over 100 students college-bound, 10 college-bound athletes, and over an 85% graduation rating.
That's awesome.
Yes, that means out of all the students who graduated, that there was less than 15% of them who started with them that didn't graduate and complete high school. So that's a great accomplishment. That's really big for our area to see these young people going out into the world, doing great things with their education, some furthering their education and their sports at the next level. And we want to really pat those guys on the back for a lot of hard work. 13 years in the public school system is not easy. So we want to commend them for that. Now let's dive into the meeting. That's what everybody's really here for. That's the meat and potatoes of my report every week.
Hey Marcus, before you go into that, let's give a shout out to all Horry and Georgetown County graduates, college and high school, and any other surrounding communities that may be watching. Marcus is a little biased.
Oh yeah, I'm a lot biased.
Well, I'm a Tiger too, so I get it. But we definitely want to wish everyone, peace and blessings, and we hope that you all have a wonderful future, whether you are entering the college arena or going into the workforce. Like Marcus said, you to be commended for completing your
12 years.
your secondary journey. So congratulations to everyone.
Big congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's dive into it here. We'll start out with some lighter-hearted news, some pretty nice stuff. During yesterday's meeting, the mayor declared the week of June 5th through the 11th to be National Garden Week. Now, people have realized a lot now, since due to the inflation and the pandemic we've been going through, that gardening is really a big part of what we need to be more self-sufficient. It also gives you a stress reliever. It also helps beautify the community and beautify your street. Adds more curb appeal to wherever you're living. And so we want to make sure people understand that and get involved in your local gardening clubs if you're looking for an extra hobby, something else to kind of take your time. You have a little bit of free time in your week. You can't really go wrong with gardening. Both of my parents do it. Vegetables, and my mom's definitely all about flowers, and the yard always looks nice, and then it's a good way for everybody just to relax at the end of a day, kind of just decompress, walk around, look at your flowers, look at your fruit trees and stuff. So we wanted to make sure people understood that. That's a really big thing. And also it helps you be more self-sufficient and healthy. And so we want to start out with that one. Also, there's going to be a zoning meeting at the next city council meeting about a potential development of houses on Session Street. Session Street is already a fairly pretty well-established community as far as the surrounding neighbors in that neighborhood, in that corridor of town. So you want to make sure you're abreast of what's going on there, so you can hear about how many new houses they're planning on adding, the potential traffic changes, different road changes, and just all around what's going on in your neighborhood.
Can you describe where Session Street is located? I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure.
I actually had a graphic right here. I saw it earlier. So let's break it down here, make it a little easier. Let me pull it right up on my phone here. All right. So Session Street is right here in Conway, South Carolina, and it is right near. I'm trying to see here. Trying to think of a good landmark here to put it by.
Is it south or north? It's south, isn't it?
Session Street is considered to be in South Conway part of town. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The development back there. I guess it's kind of, you could call it behind South Conway Elementary School.
Yeah, fairly pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
You say behind South Conway or it's behind Wild Rose. That's over there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of different things about near the Three Guys Subs and Pies restaurant back in that little corner.
Back in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good way to put landmark. But they're planning on adding. Everybody knows back there is kind of where it runs up to the backside of. I don't want to call it what we used to call Lake Busby, because it's not really a lake anymore. But it runs back up there behind the dog park.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's going to run. It's going to be a fairly large development.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change some traffic, change some different patterns than what you're used to in that area. So make sure you stay abreast of that.
Did they say how many parcels or not parcels, but how many homes will be in that area?
They haven't established that yet, but they have established that it is all going to be single-family dwellings.
Single family.
Only one house. You're not going to have any townhouses, condos. Right. This is going to be regular houses.
They didn't say how many phases of it?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I think that's what they're going to break down at the next meeting.
Okay.
They're probably have the developer there, and he or she is going to break it down and make it more understandable. So there was also 9 acres and 39 acres, both on Mill Pond Road, that are going to be considered into wetlands. They're going to rezone. They're potentially planning to rezone them into wetlands because, and I don't know if anybody remembers, but in about 3 broadcasts ago when I gave my report, I mentioned that they're planning on making another park in Conway. But this park is going to have somewhat of a pond or a lake on it. And that is somewhat of a push from the Department of Natural Resources and from other members of the community, because a lot of people say the issue is there's plenty of places around here with water, but if you do not have a boat, that water and the amenities of the water are inaccessible to you. Mm-hmm. So everybody says, if I don't have a boat, I can't really enjoy the river, or I can't really enjoy the waterway. I can't. There's no public places to fish. So the purpose of that is they're planning on making that into a park up here, with some sort of pond or lake to fish on for the community to be able to go out and enjoy, families to go out and have picnics. There's going to be a rental space available that you can reserve at a minimal fee to the city, so you can go out there and enjoy that space and be around your family, have a graduation party. I know a lot of people had those this past weekend. That'd be a great place to have one. Plenty of nice scenery. The weather was immaculate, so that'd be beautiful. So we want to just kind of stay awake, see what comes from that. It's still a developing thing. It's more or less hearsay. There's been a couple articles published on it through different newspaper and other outlets. So they're just going to wait and see how that comes to fruition. Also, yesterday at the city council meeting, Ms. Harden, who is the city planner, she kind of, I guess, put herself on the chopping block and mentioned the fact that there's a large disconnect between the planning and zoning department and the decisions that are made by city council. So for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't watched or attended any city council meeting, when the city council plans something, when they talk about a planning or zoning issue and they vote on it, that's it. But there's been a disconnect with developers and engineers and all these other people that are in the building process trying to build around Conway. They've gotten a yes before they gotten a yes from the planning commission before they got a yes from city council and the mayor. So there's been a large disconnect, and a lot of people have opted out of building in our area and bringing businesses because they've got two separate opinions at two different times. So she put herself out on top of the block and admitted her error and said she is willing to change it and prepare to make better choices in the future. So we want to commend her for that, because all of us make mistakes. None of us are perfect. So that's a big thing, to be able to call out your own error. Also, there's going to be a new restaurant in Conway. The restaurant's name is going to be Hoppin' Witch. It's going to be on the corner of 3rd Avenue and Laurel Street.
What's the name of it?
Hoppin' Witch. It's going to be a artisan sandwich shop.
Hoppin' Witch.
Yes, ma'am.
Witch is in sandwich.
Right. Yeah. Pretty clever name. I like the name.
What's the hopping part? Hoppin' Witch?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I hope the sandwich ain't jumping away from me. I don't want to chase.
I was about to say Hoppin' John there, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I've done enough chasing my food today. I don't want to keep doing it no more. I want to go sit down and be there. But it's going to be a new restaurant. It's actually one of the first restaurants, a part of a new plan by the city of Conway to bring businesses into older, dilapidated, somewhat vacant building fronts in downtown in the commercial business district called the CBD district. And that just stands for Commercial Business District. And if you apply for a vacancy in the CBD, then the city will give you 100% capital recovery. For people who don't understand what capital recovery is, that means they're going to give you your money back on your permits, on getting tapped into city water and gas, electric, all that stuff. And they're also going to give you reimbursement on 2 years of business license. So that's one way they're trying to create more incentives to bring business into downtown, also into some of those more vacant and available spaces. So that's just something to keep in mind for anybody who's potentially planning on opening a business in this area. Try and get one of the business fronts that's been vacated for at least 3 months, because if it's been vacated 3 months or more, it falls into that category where you can get that reimbursement on your capital, 100% reimbursement on your capital.
So that's just downtown?
Yeah, that's just downtown Conway in that commercial business district. They're planning on expanding it to make it citywide, but right now they're trying to really, I guess, brighten up downtown, because anybody who's been down there can tell you, you look around, there's a lot of open spaces. You get a lot of really nice newer restaurants, newer shops, but then you have a couple places that just look somewhat dilapidated.
Now, where exactly, because, we're trying to create visuals here, where exactly does this exist? You said 3rd Avenue?
Yes, ma'am. 3rd Avenue and Laurel Street.
And Laurel. So what's in that area?
So Laurel Street comes down. Well, Laurel Street is the street that you take when you're coming down 16th Avenue. You take a left in front of College Park. So 3rd Avenue is going to come past the school. You'll come past County Middle School. Then you keep coming up.
Right.
Yep. So you come past the library. Once you get past the library, you go past. Well, you got City Library. You go past the County Library and United Methodist Church. Keep going past that, and it's going to be right there on the corner, right across the street from Palmetto Chevrolet.
Ah.
You know that, okay. Right there in the lot that has the trucks at Palmetto Chevrolet.
Yeah. Well, let me add something to that. Or let me correct me. Palmetto Chevrolet is on the 4th, isn't it?
One of Palmetto Chevrolet's lots is on the 4th. The what's it called? The damaged lot, the lot they do the insurance stuff is on the 4th. It's on 4th Avenue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like where that body shop is located.
Yes.
If you go straight down the avenue, where will you end up? Are you near on the First Citizen side, or are you on the?
You'll be on the. Oh gosh, what's that bank?
The bank on the corner.
Yeah,
that's First Citizens
yeah, First
Bank.
Citizens, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and there's a hibachi restaurant on the left.
Yeah, Joe
First
Hibachi,
Citizens on the right. Okay, so you're saying there's some empty parcels right there, and that's what.
Yes, ma'am. There's empty. Okay. I saw the visual they had. There's empty parcels there. Mm-hmm. There's also empty parcels up by Conway Cleaners. When you come back down the avenue from Conway Cleaners, there's an empty one there. There's an empty parcel across the street from what do they call that? From Blackwater Market. Mm-hmm. Used to be that jewelry store over there that closed down. Mm-hmm. So you have an empty parcel there, and all that's in the commercial business district. That's the part that they really want to try and revitalize and make sure there's always people in. They don't want to have vacancy downtown.
Well, there needs to be more information out about that, because I mean, with all of these entrepreneurs who are possibly looking for storefronts versus being just totally online or whatever it is they're doing, that sounds like a tremendous opportunity if they're going to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I wanted to make some clarity on that. Mm-hmm. And make sure that it was downtown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and the biggest thing about it is, it's not like this is something that's broadcasted on the city's website. I believe if you want to know more about the incentives in building and doing new projects in Conway, you have to visit to the Chamber of Commerce website. I believe that's one of the ways to try to get you to join the chamber, is finding out about these incentives. Because when Jonathan opened his business downtown, when he opened the Renewing Minds Counseling Center, I guess he joined the Chamber of Commerce automatically because they were there, and they also pretty much produced all the process of his ribbon cutting. And so I believe that's one way to try and get someone involved in the Chamber of Commerce as well.
So the Chamber, what I'm understanding, the Chamber of Commerce has information about incentives for opening your business in downtown Conway in the commercial district.
Right.
Okay. All right. And if you will describe this incentive again.
So the incentive, it's a 100% return on all of your capital investment as far as anything infrastructure wise, as far as building, tapping into utilities, business licenses, and also your permits to build.
Mm-hmm. So what about any kind of minor or significant renovations?
Now, see, that's the part that they didn't disclose. They didn't disclose that, saying if that was or was not included. Because, of course, when you think about it, if a building is vacant for 3 months, more than likely there's going to be some kind of building that's going to have to be done. Mm-hmm. You have to. Sometimes you may have to have an electrician come in and update the wiring because it may have just been run down from however long somebody had it beforehand, or they may have potentially damaged something before you came in, and now you have to correct it. But once again, that they didn't totally, discuss that part. It wasn't. It was not disclosed. So.
Well, I think information is really powerful, man. I mean, just because you have some people who have small businesses, minded people, small business minded people who really want to go into business.
Right.
And sometimes it's what the unexpected is what they're afraid of.
Right.
And when you talk about a place like downtown, but they look at that as, a place that it has good potential.
Mm-hmm. At Hoppenwood's place, they disclosed it. They disclosed how much money they were getting back. They're getting back over $1,000 just in reimbursement from that package, which is them tapping into utilities and the building permits and 2 years worth of business licenses. So I mean, if you put that money up, it'll be great to get it back.
Right.
So we gotta go a little long here. We got a couple more things. Chief Long introduced a full-time position for victims advocate services with the police department. A lot of people aren't very familiar with victims advocate services are through a police department or a law enforcement office. That is the person who helps you kind of work your way through a tragedy. Say, for instance, somebody is killed in a shooting or something of that nature, or assaulted. You go to the victims advocate office. They give you different resources to reach out to to help you move on with the next step, to help you somewhat try and get back to normal. And the victims advocate position with the city of Conway was only a part-time position, but Chief Long admitted with a rise in crime and other assaults and homicides, things of that malicious nature, they needed to bring on a full-time personnel to handle nothing but victims advocates. So we want to make sure people understand that and understand the resources that are available to them, how they can reach out in case something is to happen. All you have to do is contact the City of Conway Police Department and ask to speak with the victims advocate. So make sure you understand that. That's a great resource to have, and that's very important to help us all keep on moving and coinciding. And then the biggest, pretty much what I thought was the biggest thing, is the release of the budget for the City of Conway for the 2022-23 fiscal year. So the budget for last year, for 2021 through 2022, was $51,400,000. The proposed budget that they have finalized for the 22-23 fiscal year is $63,947,000. So you're looking at a $12,500,000 increase. And so I did a little bit of breakdown on it to try and make it to where people will be able to comprehend what's going up. So whenever the bills come, they won't say, well, what is this? What is this? What is this? So I got some pretty key points on something that's really going to affect everybody in the area, because not only the city of Conway is going up, but every surrounding city in our area, from Horry County all the way to Georgetown County, every city is having increases due to inflation and all these other things, and adding more employees and trying to offer more services. So I'm just going to give a little breakdown. The property tax millage is going to increase by 7%. The city of Conway also added 5 new full-time positions. Anytime somebody wants to build a new home in the city limits of Conway, there will be a $300 review, $300 fee to review it, to review that property and to review your stormwater. Ms. April, I see your face. I'm thinking the same thing. Why?
Wow.
But this is all they had to lay out. So this is something that people can come to the meeting and ask questions about. This is perfect. This is perfect time when I'm breaking this down, so they can write this down and bring it to the next city council meeting or call it in so it can be asked at the meeting. So that $300 review per unit, that's kind of applying for a new home. Building permits are going to go up from $100 to $125 a piece. Residential monthly fees for solid waste going up from $24 to $26 a month. Trash cans. If you need a new trash can, it was $60 for the green can. Now it's going to be $85. The blue recycling bins. A lot of people have the green recycling bins, but a lot of people have seen the blue roll cans now. Mm-hmm. So to get a blue roll can, it's going to be $70 if you have a green one, or if you're moving to the area and purchasing a new home. So that's $155 in trash cans. Your stormwater fee is going to go up from $625 to $725 a month. And then this is a breakdown of how much each individual part has gone up from one fiscal year to the next. The general fund for the city of Conway has gone up 18%. And here's the big one. The utility fund went up 37%. The utility fund is everything from water to trash to electric. Anything you have to pay a bill to the city of Conway for has gone up 37%. Now, like they said, they have introduced 5 more full-time positions, but there's still a lot of room in there. I mean, everything that they have, from what I'm telling you, to a real full breakdown is on the City of Conway website. If you look under the Agendas and Minutes tab at the bottom of the page, you can open it up from this meeting, 6/6/2022. And it has a full breakdown in 32 sheets as to what costs what and the money. I'm not an accountant. I understand math very well, but I don't understand expenditures. So, if somebody who's more apt to that and more skilled in that sees it and they can look at it, then they can make it make sense. To me, there's a lot of blank room there, in my opinion, but somebody else may understand it better. Also, 1 week from today, primary elections. Primary elections, very big, very important. Primary elections are coming up. Like I said, there's a multitude of seats available in our area, in Horry and Georgetown County. Mm-hmm. just like the solicitor. That's the biggest one for both of our neighboring counties. The solicitor here in Horry County is going to be the same one in Georgetown County, for parts of Georgetown County rather. So make sure you understand all of your positions, the seats, what their coverage area is, what their platform is, what they bring to the table, how well they know the position, how prepared they are for the position, what applies out of their regular life into this new position. Look at former positions they've held. All of this stuff, very important. Also, it is too late to apply for absentee voting if you haven't already submitted your form for absentee ballot. But so now you have to make sure you show up and show out and make sure you do your vote in person. Very important. I can't preach this enough. That election is the most important. This is one of the most important elections that's going to take place for a long time. This is, in my personal opinion, is more important than the president because this affects you every single day. Mm-hmm. These are the people who are going to be governing your schools, making the laws and ordinances that are going to affect your local area, your county, your city. This is important stuff. State elections. This is all about us right now. This is important. So make sure you educate. You're not just a voter, but an educated and prepared voter. Make sure you understand what you're doing. And then that's all I have for happenings of the meeting. And then let's give you a quick rundown of the week here and upcoming events. June 9th at 6 p.m., which is going to be this Thursday, there's going to be a sushi rolling workshop at the rec department, City of Conway. Very
sushi rolling.
Yeah, that's not something you expect.
It is not. That's
pretty awesome.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Something new and different. It's not just something pretty plain. I mean, a lot of people like sushi. I know I do myself personally. I'm a big sushi guy. Mm-hmm. But they have a sushi rolling workshop. It's going to start at 6 p.m. and last until. Go ahead and visit the City of Conway Parks and Rec Department website to register and get your tickets. Also, you have your weekly farmers market downtown from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Also, on Saturday, June 11th, from 12 to 4, there will be the Rivertown Wine Around. It's pretty much just a walk taste testing of wine in the City of Conway.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, different suppliers. The weather's supposed to be really nice. You have a lot of different vendors coming in from Dupa Winery and LaBelle Vineyards down in Little River along there. A lot of different local wineries, people bringing their own stuff. Kind of showcase what can really be done around here in the different businesses. Different restaurants will be open. There will be different booths for catering and taste testings. So make sure to be abreast of that. And on June 13th, Monday at 10 a.m., there will be a Parent and Me paint workshop. Everybody know the kids are out of school. Kids are out of school for the summer. And the rec department is offering a Parent and Me paint session where you go in and paint with your child. You somewhat get a little bit of I guess you consider a workshop and bonding and painting and enjoying each other's company. It's $20 per session. And just make sure to visit the City Parks and Rec Department to give your payment and to reserve your spot. That's going to be Monday at 10 a.m. And that's all I have for this week, guys.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a packed week.
That's a lot.
It's a packed week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of great community information.
You're not really certain that I hope that our viewers are appreciating your narratives of the happenings like that, and especially coming from the Conway Council, City Council meetings like that. It's not always as clarified as you bring it. Okay, of course they can look on the City Council TV page and see this information, but I mean that's a lot to most people. I'd say that's not a priority for looking at something on the TV.
No,
you got 1,000 other things to do.
Yeah, they really do.
You got 1,000 other things to do. So I just hope that people appreciate your coming on and conveying that narrative to them in a way that you explain it in depth. What the consequences of these action items that they've discussed on at the council. And if anybody has any issues and a problem, they can give you a call. Can they give you a call, Mark?
Yeah, they can. They definitely can, because the biggest thing I want people to be able to do is to understand what's going on around them and how it pertains to their daily life and how we can figure out what works best. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I've noticed a large trend. A lot of people who have been seeing the zoning notice and the zoning meeting signs in their neighborhoods have been coming to the meetings. Not only city, but county council as well. People show up because they're concerned.
Right.
They want to know, why are we being rezoned? What is rezoning? What are the different zones in my area? And that's something that spans across not only our area, but our neighboring areas and the state and the country in whole. So to understand that is very important.
Okay, so Marcus, we have to put up on screen, I guess, your phone number for them.
Yeah.
We can just verbalize and give it to them, 843-877-3226. That's the best way to reach you, right?
Right, yep, best way to reach me.
Okay. 843-877-3226.
And if they have a complaint, or something they want mentioned at city council, they can let me know, and I can tell them how to go about properly doing that, because I'm not going to do it for you. You got to do it yourself.
Glad you made that point.
Yep, you got to do it yourself, because if you start, it's going to cause a hobby. It's going to make it a habit. You're going to be ready to speak out.
Right, man. That makes all the difference in the world. In addition to what you were saying, I guess you finished up right now.
Yep, that's it.
The April and Marcus, have our summer jobs program, the World Community Magazine summer jobs program. Marcus was one of our first or second participants in it. Was it 5 years ago, Marcus, something like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
wow.
Man. Yeah. Maybe even a little longer than that, I do believe.
Maybe longer than that?
Yeah, because I wasn't even driving yet.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a minute.
Anyway, Marcus, and the young, I think it was Marcus and then Jameson Purcell who were assigned at the Whittemore Park School, I think it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we hired you guys to just do whatever the school wanted you to do as part of the program. And so that, having said that, I want to let our new participants who are going to be, if you haven't gotten the word out yet, that the orientation for the upcoming job program, the job program begins on June 13th, which is next Monday. Okay. And it may continue to be at a beginning stage, maybe a few days after that. But the orientation for this summer job program is this Thursday at 12:30 p.m. at the Mason Temple Fellowship Hall. That's located at 1501 7th Avenue. A lot of people say it's on Highland Avenue, but it's at the corner of Highland and 7th Avenue. So it's 1501 7th Avenue, and it's Mason Temple, the Fellowship Hall. We're scheduled to be there at 12, to have it begin at 12:30 p.m. And that'll be our orientation like we have every year. We've been having every year for the past, I guess, 7 years, I guess. I don't know. But it's been a while. So, to all of our parents, all the parents who have students who are interested, and those who have already been notified, and to join us for orientation, it's important that you get this little information so that you'll know where it's possible you'll be assigned, and what you'll be doing, and so forth, and what kind of salary you expect. We'll get into that too. So that's at Mason Temple, Church of God in Christ. It's at 7th Avenue and Highland Avenue, and that's actual address is 1501 7th Avenue in Conway, South Carolina. Okay, so if you have any issues, give me a call. You can give me a call. You can call you, April. You can just relay the information to them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just make sure that they've got it. And you can call Marcus.
Yep.
Okay. And you can call me at 843-331-3043. That's the office number. And you can call, of course, Ms. Janai Falk. She's the treasurer. At 843-995-2877. 843-995-2877. Something else I just wanted to bring up, which was a very, very special day yesterday, by the way, missed. So we want to acknowledge the birthday, April and Marcus, the birthday anniversary of two longtime Bucksport residents. Miss Lula Mishu Nelson. She's a class of 1946. She turned 96 years young yesterday, June 7th. And her sister, Miss Helen Mishu Hunt. She was a class of 1955. She turned 85 yesterday, June 6th. So we ask God's blessing on that, and wishing them many, 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 many more years. Yeah, possible 96 more, 85.
Right, yeah.
Hey, you never know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, congratulations to them. Happy birthday. Belated to one, but happy birthday.
And you said you mentioned their classes. You mean they're Whittemore alums, right?
Yeah, Whittemore class. Whittemore class of 1946 was Miss Lula Mishu Nelson. Whittemore High School class of 1946.
That is awesome.
And at some point, we're gonna we can find the photo of that class and specify Miss Lula Mishu Nelson out in that class with her cap and gown. Okay. Just look for it. But we have it. And Miss Helen Hunt, she's a class of 1955. We will get that for you too. So, happy birthday again.
Brother El, let's kick it to some ads.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we have some ads, and then I have and I have a couple of other community announcements, some Juneteenth happenings coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And so let's see what's going on and give some props to our sponsors. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, all right. So first of all, thank you to all of the wonderful advertisers and sponsors who help support the magazine and this show every single month and week. If you are interested in advertising in the magazine or receiving a copy of the monthly magazine, visit www.wcmagazine.net for more information. You can get an annual subscription for a lot less than what you think. In color, or you can get it mailed or delivered to your home if you're within the Conway area. But also it's a great way for you to advertise and be a part of something in the community that helps to bring a lot of information about all the new businesses, especially the kind of businesses that Marcus was talking about today. So again, you can visit how many W's did I say? It's been a long day. www.wcmagazine.net for more information on how to receive the monthly magazine and also how to advertise your business, organization, or group. So I wanted to share with our viewers as well. There's a lot going on in the Conway area, and pretty soon we will have a couple of wonderful celebrations coming up. The weekend of Father's Day weekend is also Juneteenth. And Brother Edward, it's amazing. I was going through the network and pulling some information from the network that I'm, would like to share on a weekly basis as well, of all of the community events that are happening. And there are Juneteenth celebrations pretty much on all four corners of the county. And if you think about it, in our region, if you kind of did a square, which would include Horry and Georgetown counties, you can definitely take part in a Juneteenth celebration almost anywhere along the Grand Strand area. So we have a Juneteenth celebration that's happening at Charlie's Place from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the 18th, and that's at 1420 Carver Street in Myrtle Beach. There's also going to be a Juneteenth celebration in Georgetown that begins at 11 a.m. and wraps up at 10 p.m. And it's at Steelworkers Square, which is at Gilbert, Hazard, and Kaminsky Streets. So Georgetown, stand up. You actually are having a Juneteenth celebration, and that's wonderful. Like I said, we've got Horry and Georgetown counties covered. There's a Juneteenth celebration that's happening in Conway as well. So if you're interested in attending the Juneteenth Soul Food Festival, you can contact one of the vendor contacts here and find out more about that particular event. There will also be a Juneteenth celebration in Bucksport. So I've mentioned Georgetown, Conway, Myrtle Beach, and now Bucksport. That is amazing. At the James R. Frazier Center from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you can actually catch this festival, and then the other festivals are running a little bit longer. So you have time to get to one of the other ones in Myrtle Beach or in Georgetown, and maybe even Conway. So we certainly hope that, everyone is making plans, and they have these dates on their calendars and the different festivals, and all of this information can be found on the network as well. There is a golf tournament that's happening, and it's by the West Foundation. It's their annual sports camp golf tournament, and the proceeds from this particular golf tournament actually benefit student athletes. And so if you're interested in being a part of this golf tournament, again, it's a 4-man's captain's choice, raffles and prizes, longest drive, and 2 closest to the pin. It's happening June 24th at the Hackler course at CCU. And this is an annual drive for scholarships and also assistance with the sports camp that is sponsored by the West Foundation. And Marcus, you mentioned a new business opening in downtown Conway, and you may want to check this one out. Have you ever heard of salt therapy?
Yeah, I've heard of it a couple times.
How about you, Brother Edward? You ever heard of salt therapy?
Not salt, man.
Yeah, it is. It is actually a very therapeutic, the properties of salt. And so there's a wonderful new salt therapy lounge, foot detox, oxygen lounge, infrared sauna, red light therapy, salt room that's opening on Renee Drive in Myrtle Beach. The Salt and Detox Oasis is the name of it. So Marcus, you might want to check that out just to see what they're all about. But they're opening on June the 13th and posted in the network. So we want to congratulate the new Black business owners there. And it's called the Salt and Detox Oasis. I've visited a salt room once, and it is actually very relaxing.
Yeah, very therapeutic.
Very, very therapeutic. So that's one of the new businesses that's opening in the area as well. So if you have any community events free to the public, any type of events that benefit students in terms of scholarships and any type of financial assistance or educational assistance, post that information to the network or on the World Community Magazine page, and we will definitely share it along with all the wonderful information that Marcus shares each week. So that's what I want to mention. And then, of course, Brother Edward, go ahead and I know that we're still working on some guests for next week, but I do want to mention that we will make an announcement about the winners of the Whittemore Alumni Scholarships for this year. We've actually awarded 7 scholarships, 7 $1,000 scholarships to students in this area, and we are actually poised to give a few more out before the next school year starts. So congratulations to all of the recipients. We will make formal announcements next week during the show, and we'll also have President Anna Staley here to just give us a brief update on what's going on with the scholarships and our membership drive. We had a membership information session last night and brought on 6 new members to the association last night. Yeah, and these are legacy members, which means people like Marcus and I who, our parents or grandparents came through Whittemore. And so, what we're seeing is that there's, some younger generations who are getting involved with the association. And that's absolutely the idea, to connect the alums with the legacy. And so we want to congratulate those new members, and we'll make announcements later on about the new members. So if you are interested, you can visit the Whittemore Alumni Facebook page. There's information there about how you can become a member. And we typically have information sessions during our executive meetings, which typically happen the first Thursday of every month. So if you're interested, inbox me and I will send you a Zoom link, and you can sit in on the executive meeting for a few minutes, and we'll get to know you and tell you about the plans. And then we just say, welcome aboard. There's plenty of work to be done. So, but you'll hear more about that next week when we have our guests from the association on the show. And that's what I have, Brother Edward.
Well, kudos to you. You seem like you're the communication expert.
Yeah, that's my role.
with the Alumni Association, and they, I'm sure they have a jewel there with you as that in their position. So, more than congratulations. I just want to let them know that there's a jewel there, and just take it with all the quality and value that they can.
But thank you, Brother Edward.
I
appreciate that. And it's what I can say
to get 12 more members like that. I mean, just
the goal is to connect.
Good.
Yeah, the goal is to connect as many alums and legacy. And the legacy are the descendants of alums, faculty members, staff members. So, the scholarship recipients are the same. They are descendants of the Whittemore alums. And so, it's beautiful to not only be able to give out those scholarships, but also what we'll share is the connection that the scholarship recipients have to Whittemore High School in terms of who their parents and grandparents were. And so that everyone will understand that connection. And so, the association is growing. There's some great things that are coming up, and we're not going to jump out there in a big way to do too much too soon. We're just trying to figure out how we can connect people. That's the big thing, connecting everyone so that we can make sure that the scholarship is sustainable, because it's very important. I mean, there's this association has been in existence for some 50 years, to my understanding. 1971 was, when it all started as more of a social club or social organization. And so now it's moving more towards a nonprofit, and, but it has been doing the work all of these years to make sure that students had an opportunity to attend college with some type of financial assistance from their community. So, would like to thank President Anna Staley for being at the helm of leadership, and all of the officers who are helping to pull the structure together. And we just need folks like Marcus and all the young people that he introduced, because I'm sure all of them are tied some way, somehow to Whittemore, to come and be a part of this, so that we'll know how to, govern ourselves and create some programming that's going to appeal to everybody, because it's going to take a village to sustain this scholarship association. So thank you so much. And again, if there's anyone who's interested, inbox me and I'll be more than happy to share more information.
Yeah, and to our former officers, we're not forgetting all the hard work that's been put into this over the years, including all the officers, president, vice president, and all the members, who were working and who made it sustainable over the past 20 some 30 some years, I guess. So kudos to them, and we're going to go more in depth about how valuable they were.
And they're still working in the association. That's right. The wonderful thing. I mean, former President LaRue Galloway, he stepped aside and basically said he served and it was time to pass it on. But we still have, for example, Caleb Brown, who's been the treasurer in the association, and Mary Colbert. There is Edna Bellamy DeWitt, and also Ms. Shirley Jones. All of them hold offices and have worked tirelessly to help pull it together. We have a host of other members in the association.
Valerie Skipper, I think.
Yeah, Valerie Skipper, Bonnie Edie, Aaron Butler. Yeah. I mean, there's a number of people who are, have always been a part of it and are still a part of it. And so, we're all working together to grow the membership, to create some more awareness. And we can do big things. There's strength in numbers. There's unity. Yeah. When there's unity, there's strength. So let's make it happen.
We'll do that. Let's do that.
So that's what I have.
Well, I mean, that was a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
We had a lot today. Look, we covered it. This was a good hour, and we need to do more of this. But of course, we got to share people with our guests, with our new guests when they come on with information, because sometimes that may take precedence on what they have to say. Our guests, because our guests that we try to select, we select them to make sure that the information that they give out is going to be pertinent to people making decisions, and people acting as being guided by the guests, information from the guests. So just want to put that out there, to let you all know that our viewers know that. So I guess we can call it a day. Hate to call it a day, but whenever we come on, we always hate to call it a day. So
yeah, it's always good. But it's and this is a record that we are getting this in under an hour. We're typically talking, but it's all been great stuff. Marcus, thank you so much for all you're doing in the community to make sure that you're bringing the news. I mean, this is basically the news show. This is, we're the Orby County version of BET News.
Right.
So.
Right, and I might want to add that it's called the World Community Magazine Lives, but and sometimes a lot of times we focus on all the things that are local, but we do have world information, especially when our guests come on. Okay, right. They bring the world information. But we nevertheless. Downplay the importance of what's happening locally, and we can call it the PD area locally, the whole PD area locally, including the 7 counties. So just want to throw that out. Okay. So
yes,
until next week, same time, we're going to wish everybody Godspeed, and we see it next week, 7 p.m. We will. I think we're going to have a guest. Okay, it's likely we're going to have a guest. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have it. Yeah, we're going to have at least one. So next week is the 14th. But like I said before, we'll have President Staley here, but also Brother Elwood is working on a little something, Marcus. So it'll be a great show.
Right. So between the 3 of us, we should have a whole bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today, and we really appreciate your viewership and comments if you had any. And again, next week, hope to see you 7 p.m. Right here on the World Community Magazine Live.
Yes. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.